2020 marked Kevin Harvick's 20th season in the NASCAR Cup Series and his 7th with Stewart-Haas Racing. With 9 race wins, the 4-car team were the dominant force on the racetrack.
The biggest piece of everything that happened last year is definitely the people in the team. As you look at the results and you look at the way we had to go about it and the way that we figured things out, how to put the processes in place and keep everybody safe and make the race cars fast all at the same time was quite an undertaking and a lot of planning that went into that. So outside of the 9 wins and all the success that we had throughout the year, you still point your finger back at the people, and that's what we have, are great people on the 4 team.
Coronavirus brought the season to a grinding halt in March, but when racing returned 2 months later, Harvick went on a tear, winning 7 races through the summer, starting at Darlington.
I think there's a lot to be learned by that break, right? There were 2 ways to approach it. You could approach it as, man, this sucks, or man, I can get better. And I think once we got through the first couple of weeks, the mentality of the whole situation was, how do we get better? And I felt like when I got back in the race car, I was better than I was when I got out of it at week 3.
Kevin's, it's crazy to see. It's like every year can he do better than what he did last year? And it seems like he finds ways to motivate himself. He's into it, and I think he's really enjoying the opportunity he has and the wins. And I don't know if there's any week they get in a car and doesn't think he can win. I think he's as good as anybody and way better than he's probably ever been. And I think when he feels like he has an opportunity or an edge, he's going to pounce on the competitors and not let that get by.
Despite 2 wins early in the postseason, a couple of bad results left 2020's best driver out of the championship 4 and unable to claim his 2nd title.
It's so easy to tear your race team apart when something goes wrong, but it'd be hard to have worked my whole career to come in and just rip everything apart and say, man, it sucks we didn't win the championship, and this is the problem, we need to do this, this, and this. I think when you look at the big picture of things, the success that we had last year was pretty extraordinary. It really didn't go well in the last 3 races.
Harvick's into the wall. Harvick tags the outside wall.
Hold your line.
The weekend you have to look back on is just Texas. I think I could have done a better job. We probably should have done a little bit more coaching before that. We wanted to lead every lap and win the race. And I'll take responsibility for that. We've got to probably be a little bit more cautious, especially with the year that we had. To have the points that we had, and you've got a little bit of buffer there. You just need to have a nice, clean race. And even if we'd have finished 2nd at Texas, we could have went to Martinsville and had a smooth weekend and went on and raced for a championship.
Despite the disappointment, Childers has engineered 35 victories for Harvick in their first 7 seasons together. And this year, they've again been consistently running at the front. The close-knit 4-car team aren't slowing down anytime soon.
The good thing about our team is if you show up unprepared, you stick out like a sore thumb. So, I think everybody knows that, and everybody wants to cover every detail that you can in getting the car prepared and driving the car and calling the race and doing all the things that come with a race weekend to be prepared, because every week is important. And the expectation is to be as competitive as possible that week and put yourself in a contention to win the expected amount of races as you go through the season. So preparation is key, and it starts at week 1.
Our strong suit as a team has always been unloading off the truck fast. Some of that just comes from great preparation from the shop. Our engineers do a great job from the setup standpoint. It's just a great group of people, and obviously Kevin doesn't need practice. He's made enough laps around all these places that he gets it. He's really dependent on that, and he can go out the first lap on the racetrack and hit his marks pretty much every time.
We want to win. Well, I'd rather win races than win the championship at this point. To me, in order to keep the attitude and enthusiasm where it needs to be, you have to be competitive week in and week out. If it works out in a championship at the end of the year, ultimately that's the goal. But the immediate goal when you start the season is, how are we competitive? How do we put ourselves in position to win as many races as possible? And if you do that, you're going to have a chance to make the playoffs, you're going to have a chance to progress through the playoffs, and you're going to have a chance to win the championship.